What's going on, everybody? Slang Dutchman here, and today it's early in the morning, so it's not that hot out yet. It's nice now though. It's getting warm because the sun has some temperature, but the ambient temperature is not that high. Today we're working on the mira. Now, when we first did like the coilovers and everything, I mean, it just had MOT recently, but my guess is if I bring it to the MOT center, I'm 99% sure that it would fail and fail hard. He said he replaced an axle because the boot and everything was not good, and I checked both axles, and both of the axles have the boots completely split, all the grease is out of there, and then a little sand or all the debris is in there. You keep driving it, you know, and they sort of wear out. So I'm not gonna bother putting new fat in the old ones and put some new boots on. I have them, which I want to do as like a backup, but I just went to the wrecking yard and got a set of spare axles, which were not that expensive, so I'm gonna put 2 new axles in. Then I also got the last bit of the exhaust pipe, which is this piece, which I could have made up myself, like welding, but it was 10 bucks or something. I'm not gonna hassle with that because that's just a straight fit, just one hanger and one flange. Then I need an exhaust flange for that, so I bought that as well. And then the front of the exhaust is not really seating properly, and you know how Autodoc is. I have this thing to seal it up, and I have this one. I don't know which one is the one that's gonna fit. But I just ordered them both because I don't want the hassle of you know, ordering a part and then turning out that it's the wrong one, and I should have gotten the other one, and they were not that expensive, so I just got them both. And I got for the rear a set of shock absorbers, which also are, that's the funny thing about this car, like everything is cheap. Shock absorbers, they were like 15 euros a piece, a tenner, and 25. So it's still, I mean, we purchased it for cheap, but it's still cheap, and I really love it. You can do so much and so much improvements for just so low money. But anyways, we're just gonna jack it up, replace the axles first, because that's the main thing I want to do. Then the exhaust, then the shock absorbers, because we got the lowered springs in, and the thing is stiff as hell. I mean, it's a go-kart now, which I really like. It's really fun to drive now. And it's very light, and even if it just has, what is it, 56 horsepower from factory, so we'd be lucky if there's 50 left. The car is under 700 kilos, so it's pretty fun in comparison, power to weight. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take the old axles out, which is a matter of one bolt at the front, tap them out, and then there's like a washer here, a ring in there. This is basically a good pull when it comes out, and I hope that it's not that big of a deal, but we shall see. Let's start the video. So I just want to state that the previous owner was an a-hole to the top level, because as you can see, I can just pull out bits of metal here, because if you can see that, that's an axle he replaced because the boot was split, and so I changed the axle. There's a new axle in it. Well, both of the boots are split, both of the axles are fucked, and this one is just like grinded down. And as you can see how this nut is that came off, there we go, like this guy just, I don't know if this is even the right size. He just stripped this thing on, and luckily it stayed on. I mean, it could have stripped totally and then just come off, but I had to stand on this with the extension, holding myself in the wheel well like this, and then just, you know, pulling myself down in order to get it off until the last turn. Like the last bit was, oh, and now it's loose, and then it fell off immediately. So it was just fully, this axle is not savable, fully effed, but whatever, it's off now. I got the other one off as well, so the car can go back into the air. And also with other things like the exhaust came falling off. Struts on the rear, for instance, are totally blown. The springs were fucked because you were just scraping the car with just normal driving over a speed bump. Just sank in so much. There's some other small things, like he said he got this car done and it just got MOT on it. There's so much stuff wrong with this car. It's small things. This, like the axle, I'm a little bit more pissed about because that's more of a safety thing, but the rest is it's just little things. But this car should never have gotten MOT. But luckily there's someone with a little bit more decency that is now fixing the car, so my girlfriend can drive like happy and safe kilometers. Because after this is all done, the car is basically all set and done. I think this was worth sharing. I got the axles out. This is the old one and this is the old one. As you can see, they have like split boots on both. Pretty severe. This one worse than the other. But look at this. Oh wait, I'm in the... Let me put some sunlight on there. Look at that. How terrible is that? Like, how the hell did you put anything on here? You can see they worked it with a flappy disc here, because that's how it should look, like nice and straight, and that's how it turned out. So I think this one was a little bit stuck when they got it out of the car. I wanted to change it, and they had to like bash this with a hammer, and it sort of mushroomed out, so the nut was not getting on there properly. They shaved it down, not in a good way, and they used the ugga dugga to just send it and put that thing on, because man, what a hobo. But both of the axles are in, copper greased everything, so if I ever need to take them out, I can, and don't have to mushroom this. And you know, I mean, they even hit this edge here, like what the... bunch of retards, that's what they were. So we're gonna put the wheel back on, then we can sort of lower... Oh wait, I'm gonna do the exhaust first. I don't want to get copyrighted though. I need to do the exhaust, which is that one right there. So we're working on the exhaust, and there's a bolt which is like a big Torx one, which is like sort of almost stripped, and then that is a normal bolt. So they have taken this off, and if you can see the amount of gum stuff, like exhaust leak stopper stuff that's in between, they did not have the right seal to do it, and they just fixed it this way. So I'm gonna take it out and replace it with the proper seal, if I can get that one out, because it can be a bitch. It's almost stripped, so hopefully we can get it out and then replace it for a proper bolt. I have bolts enough, so this should work. And hopefully that one comes out without too much hassle, so let's see. I don't get why people do it the way it is, because if you need to do it again, or something is not good, you're gonna struggle even harder. Just do it well, do it once, for yourself and for the people that will own the car after you, because man, some people are, I don't know. So I got the Torx bit that I needed from Thomas. He had them, so I didn't have to buy them. So I got the exhaust off, just 2 simple bolts, and then the flange, the gasket that was in between there. I destroyed this in order to get it off, because it was like rusted on there, as you can see. But then the other side that I didn't touch, I mean in the sunlight, look at that. That's a gasket that he reused, because this, as you can see, this exhaust pipe, I mean, there's barely any rust. This is pretty much new, and like there was gum all over this, like dripping out. I just bashed it a little bit with a hammer so that broke off. It's probably here somewhere where I swiped it away. But anyways, yeah, this is how he replaced it. You never, especially with a gasket like this, you see how rotten and filthy it is. I mean, you will never seal anything like that. Never. So, luckily, we got a whole brand new one. And I'm gonna sandpaper this inside here a little bit, so it has a nice smooth surface area to touch on, and then a little bit of gasket sealant stuff in there. Should be all good, and we can put it back on, and then the last bit of the exhaust, and the whole car is done. So here we go, last bit of the exhaust is there, and two dampeners for the rear, which is like one bolt on the bottom, one bolt at the top, and this is like two for the flange and one rubber. So it's very simple, very easy. I got the car already jacked up, so that's new gasket. He probably forgot, same as with the one on the front. But finally this car is back to 100 points basically, back to our standard, and she needs to like travel cross country tomorrow, and now she can do that safely. So let's just get it under there. Now as you can see, one bolt here in the bottom, and then there's there one at the top. I don't know if you can see that. All right there. So we're gonna take those two out and just replace the strut or the shock absorber, and then the exhaust. Wait, I got a flashlight for a reason, or flashlight, little lamp unit thing. That's not a hard thing to fix, is it? Because the exhaust is new, the bolts are new, but they just attached the bed like last section to it. So yep. So using the Volvo as a workbench, you can see there's a lot of water on the cars, because we had a little rain shower in between. We just saw the clouds come up like a big wall of clouds, and it just came rolling up, and we're like, whoa, that looks intense. And then it started downpouring and lightning and everything, so I just had to run inside and get a different outfit because I was fully soaked, and then I finished it off. So what did I do? Wait, where's the lighting? So what did I do? New shock absorbers, all shiny new, one bolt here, one bolt at the top like I explained, and then we put a new exhaust end bit on, which is just that thing, and then it goes towards what is it, that flange that just has fully broken off. I mean, if you look the rest of the exhaust pipe, that's not very old, and he replaced it with this, so that has broken off. It was just two bolts here and here, and well, one of them broke, but I was able to get them out, and then well, this is junk anyway. Clean hands. So we have a new exhaust bit on, so let's see how it sounds now, because it was resonating under the car like crazy, and the front was very stiff, but the rear was a little bit less. So I'm curious to see how it would sit now. That's all fully stuck again. Well, that one is closed off now. Also, I did a little I did a little puff at the end. Always wear your seatbelts, kids. Hey, wait, it's my package. They're blown away by the wind. I'm gonna get that later. So, oh, don't mind the speedo. That one is still not spot on, but she has the GPS, so she knows how hard she's driving, how fast she's driving. So that will be fixed in a later episode as a little in-between fix that we need to do. But as far as it goes, it's just this car feels like 100 points again. And for the people that don't know, like, this is not a fast car by any means. It's 65 horsepower on something a little under 700 kilos, which means it's nippy getting off the line, but then there's like nothing left. So it's not a fast car by any means, but the lightness of it and the fact that it's pretty stiff, and especially for lowering springs, I never expected it to be as stiff as it is. It's like driving around a little go-kart, and I'm loving it. It's so much fun, just like hooning this around town. And I mean, if you need to drive like an hour to something, this is not the ideal car, especially if you're like mine length, almost up to 2 meters. Like what is it, 190 something, 92, 94. But anyways, yeah, this car is just a lot of fun. It's very light and very nimble to hop around. So especially if you need to be in town, do some groceries or whatever, it's just I mean, it's something compared to this. That's a whole different thing. I mean, the nose of the Volvo is sticking out by at least like everything that's in front of the I think the front wheels sort of in line with the bumper. So like the dashboards are sort of aligned. And then that. But anyways, this car is fixed. This car is fixed. This car is fixed. The whole fleet is completed. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. It's just me. I've launched a Discord now that I will link in the video description, where we play Assetto Corsa or some other games, but Assetto Corsa mainly. If you guys would like to hop in the lobby with us, join us, drift with us, or just have a chat and hang around. Just started this community, or like Discord, and there's not a lot of. There's another one. A red one with black wheels, black tinted windows. We need to tint ours. Next up. Yeah, like I said, join the Discord community if you want to like hang out with us, do some drifts on a Assetto Corsa, or just have a nice chat. I think for the average maintenance videos on the Daihatsu, that's sort of done now, because we just bought the car from a guy who sold it really cheap, and I'm not having problems with selling something cheap that has problems, but just be fair about it. He was just lying about a lot of things, or just if you fix something, fix it well, so you don't have to do it again after 2 weeks. Just this. Some people, man. Some people. I have cursed him a few times during this replacement of parts and working on it. But everything is all good and sound now, so fun thing, we can go back to the mods. So that means E36 mods, Volvo mods, 740 mods, and the Daihatsu Mira mods will all be happening, because we have plans for all 3 of them still. We're not done yet, and we're gonna keep going until run out of money, parts, fun. I don't know, but hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace. Stranger.